So let's start our session by this question. So go click on the link and answer this question. Okay, this question is as follows. So you have, what do you think about biology? Is biology easy this year? I mean, hard, boring, or interesting? Just type your question or choose your answer, and then we can start. This is the first step. This is called Mentimeter. So what do you think about biology? Every time we're going to introduce some questions like this in order to warm up, in order to enter the session with full information, and then we can start. So yes, I'm waiting for yours. Even though feel free to answer as you want. You can say boring, you can say hard, you can say easy, and you can say interesting. So waiting for your answer in order to start. Here we go. All of you click on the link that's found in the chat. So what do you think about biology? Interesting, boring, hard, or it's easy? So till now we have two interesting. Go, go, go. Boring. I'm waiting for the first boring. Hard. Yes, till now I have two answers. Till now, waiting for other answers. Interesting, boring, hard. This is the first hard. So 3-1, three interesting, one hard. So three interesting, one hard. Let's move. Boring and easy. None is going to choose boring or easy. So till now we have 3-1, three interesting, one hard. So next, so we have one boring, two easy. Okay, good, good. So till now, 6 positive and 2 negative. Good. Cynthia is the one who chose boring. Right? Okay. 3-1. Okay, good, good. So for 7, 4 interesting, 3 easy, 1 hard, 1 boring. Good, good. So so let's start. Are you ready to start the session? And here we go. Let's start the session and finish the voting. Here we go with our session for this week. It's about the mutations. So here we start with mutations. What the meaning of mutation? Last time we saw a little bit about mutations. What are mutations? What are the different types? And how do they interfere with our body? So what is the mutation? Mutation, they are changes in the nucleotide sequence of the DNA. So sequence of DNA is going to be changed. This change in the sequence is called the mutation. Mutation referred to permanent change in the DNA sequence. So the DNA sequence is changed permanently. So this change is called mutation. Mutations in the germ cells, they are transmitted to the next generation, to the next progeny, and they may give rise to inherited diseases. So whenever you have mutation in the germ cells, the sperm or the egg cells, so they are transmitted to the next generation, and they may give rise to inherited diseases. Whereas mutation in the somatic cells, like the skin cells or the liver cells or the pancreatic cells, so they are not transmitted to the next progeny, Cynthia. So they are important in the causation of cancers and some congenital malfunctions. So these are the differences between mutation in the germ cells and the somatic cells. So mutation in the germ cells, they are transmitted to the next generation and may give rise to inherited diseases, whereas mutations in the somatic cells are not germ cells, so they are not transmitted to the next progeny, and they are important in the causation of cancer and congenital malfunction. What the meaning of the mutagen? The agent that can cause a mutation. Anything that can cause a mutation is referred to as mutagen. Example about these: X-ray, gamma ray, UV ray, others. So they say, for example, you are not allowed for example, to be under the X-ray, for example, for different times or frequently, because X-ray has a higher effect, cause a mutation in the DNA, thus causing a mutation in your body and will cause a disease. Okay, so let's continue, please, regarding the mutations. Mutations, they are divided into either frame shift mutation or point shift mutation. Frame shift. For example, I told you, please frame shift your position from first place to the second place. So shift meaning that moving from the place. So frame shift mutation is the mutation where it causes the shifting of the sequence of the DNA. For example, I deleted one nucleotide. This is called frame shift mutation by deletion. Or I added or I inserted a nucleotide. This is called frame shift mutation by insertion. Okay? So shifting is going to shift the sequence of the DNA. It's going to move to the right, to the left, I don't know, according to the sequence or according to the mutation. So I will repeat. Frame shifting mutation is the mutation that will occur according to the deletion or to the insertion. If it's a deletion, so one nucleotide sequence is deleted, while insertion, one nucleotide is inserted, meaning that it's added. Whereas pointing mutation is going to be divided into three types: silent mutation, missense mutation, nonsense mutation. So let's start step by step. Pointing mutation, it occurs when only one base in the DNA, one nucleotide is altered. It changed. For example, I substituted, we have four nucleotides, A, T, C, G. Adenine, guanine, cytosine, and thymine. Okay? And U is called the uracil. So, pointing mutation, it occurs only one base. For example, I substituted A with T, or I substituted G with A, or I substituted G with T, and so on. This is called the substitution. The effect of point mutation can be silent mutation, missense mutation, or nonsense. What the meaning of silent mutation? What the meaning of missense mutation? And what the meaning of nonsense mutation? Silent mutation. Silent mutation, there is no detectable effect, meaning that there is no change at the level of the amino acid sequence. Even I change one nucleotide, I substituted, for example, A by G, like the case here. Codon change from CGA to CGG. Here, A is substituted by G. Both of them, they give arginine. So there is no change in the sequence of the amino acid. So it's called silent mutation. We can explain it simply like this. Your phone is silent, okay? And you are sleeping. Your phone is silent and the phone rings. This doesn't make sense. You will continue your sleep. حتى لك نايم. So this silent mutation has no change in the amino acid sequence. Why? Because more than one codon can give the same amino acid. Like the case here, CGA and CGG. A is substituted by G, the one in yellow color. So these are substituted. So A is substituted by G, so it doesn't affect the proteins. Both of them, they give arginine. So this mutation is called silent mutation. It doesn't have any effect. Okay? And this is the best type of mutations. It's called silent mutation. Missense mutation. Missense mutation where different amino acid is incorporated at the site of the protein molecule. For example, we changed the sequence. GAA, I substituted the A with U. So DAA, it gives glutamic acid, while GUA, it gives valine, another amino acid. Or GAG, which gives also glutamic acid, we substituted the A with U. Here, it gives valine. So these are different amino acids. Example about this, sickle cell anemia disease. Sickle cell anemia is one of its causes is the missense mutation, where normal red blood cells they become sickle cell. You hear about this sickle cell anemia disease that affects the red blood cells. So till now we have two different types of point mutation. Number one is called the silent mutation. It doesn't affect the sequence of the amino acid because it gives the same amino acid. Second type is called missense. It changes the sequence of the amino acid, like the case here. Number three is called nonsense. Nonsense, I can describe it by no way, no way to continue. Why? Because this will lead to the stop codon, okay, or it's called nonsense codon. So it leads to the conversion of an amino acid into a stop codon. Whenever we have stop codon, Simply, you can stop and write the word stop. And here we stop. No more sequence. So here, one type of thalassemia is which codon 17 of the beta chain is changed from UGG to UGA. So there is a change in the sequence where it can give tryptophan when it's UGG, can give tryptophan amino acid when it's UGG. Why? When it's changed to UGA, it gives a stop codon. That is another name, nonsense codon. But I prefer to use more the stop codon, but you have to know both of them. So change in the nucleotide, it converts the amino acid into a stop codon, or it's called nonsense codon. One case about this is the thalassemia, one types of thalassemia, where the beta chain, codon number 17, change from UGG to UGA. And this will code to the change of the amino acid sequence from tryptophan into the stop codon. Now we finished everything related to the point mutations. Point mutation, there are three types. Either they are point mutation, silent mutation, or missense mutation. As I said, silence, there is no change in the sequence. Missense, change in the sequence. Nonsense, it causes the appearance of a stop codon. Number three, this is the point mutations, three types. Frame shift mutation. Frame shift mutation. This occurs when only one or more base pairs, they are either inserted or deleted from DNA respectively. Okay, so either they are inserted or deleted. The one that code insertion, it will cause insertion of a mutation or insertion mutation, or the deletion will cause for deletion mutations. So this is called the frame shift mutation. So frame shift mutations, they are either deleted or they are inserted. So the one inserted is called insertion mutation, deleted deletion mutation. Okay, this is the example about frame shift. Here we have the sequence ATG, GD, GAA, GCA, CGT. They give methionine, glutamine, alanine, glycine, amino acids. Here we have the deletion of this nucleotide. First of all, we said that every three they are called codon. So this is the first codon. This is the second codon. This is the third codon. This is the fourth codon. So every three they are called a codon. Every three they are called codon, and every one is called a nucleotide. So the codon is composed of how many nucleotides? Three nucleotides. Here we have deletion. This nucleotide G, the first nucleotide in the second codon. So pay attention to these words. The first nucleotide in the second codon. So first nucleotide in the second codon. Where is the second codon? Here is the second codon. First nucleotide, the first one, it was deleted. So the sequence is going to be shifted. So first of all, ATG is going to be ATG. Here, G is deleted, so we have AA, and G is going to be shifted to here. So here we have shifting of this. So here G is shifted to this side. Okay, so we will have AAG. This is the second nucleotide sequence. Okay, so AAG. And then we have CA, and C should be shifted to here. So it's going to be CAC. This is the third nucleotide. And finally, we have GT, which is alone. Okay? This is a portion of the segment. This is a portion or a part of the sequence. Here, we frame shift. This is shifting of the DNA. That's why it's called frame shift mutations. Okay? Let's move now to another type. Frame shift mutation, also by either by insertion or by deletion. We can insert one DNA, one nucleotide. So addition or insertion of a single base. The addition or the insertion, they have higher consequences than does the substitution. So in the point mutation, we have only one nucleotide is substituted. Either will cause silent or missense or nonsense. While in the case of frame shift, we have either insertion or deletion. This is an example that shows the difference. We have a sentence here. The cat saw the dog. Change of one letter. So it's called here substitution point mutation. Okay, so point mutation by substitution. So here's going to be, for example, missense, nonsense, or silent mutation. First, they substituted the letter C with the letter B. So it becomes the bat saw the duck. So it still have the meaning. While the second, they substitute the D with H. So the cat saw the hug. So it still has somehow a meaning. But the cat, instead of W, is substituted by T. The cat sat the dog. So it has a difference in meaning, but not a whole difference. So this is the effect or the consequences of the point mutations. Either affect one sequence, one codon, or it affects the sequence of the DNA, or it doesn't affect at all, which is called silent. While deletion, which is called frame shift, deletion of one letter. What did they do? They delete the letter C. So it becomes the, this is the first codon. Second codon C is deleted. So it becomes ATS, AWT, HED, OG. So here, the ATS out heg og, this has no meaning. So this is the effect and the consequences of the frame shift mutation by deletion. Okay? Moving for the third type, which is insertion. Insertion is gaining of, here is one letter, but it's gaining of one nucleotide. Also deletion, it's loss of one nucleotide. Insertion, it's like addition. So we added one nucleotide. Where did they add this? They insert the letter M, where between the letter C and A. So the becomes CMA. And then we have TSA, TSA. And then we have AWT. Okay? TSA, we have WTH, EDO, and then you have G. The CMA, TSA, WTH, EDO. This is, for example, essentially. Okay? So it has no meaning. This, the importance of this is to show the effect of the frame shifting mutation that has a higher consequence on the sequence itself more than the point mutation.